Okay. Okay. Um, so a few just refreshers of like the new systems. It's January, it's New Year. One of the things I'm most excited about are the weekly calls that corporate's doing. They're doing the Monday calls. It's right after this call at 6 p.m. my time. It's 9 p.m. Eastern, or it's 8 p.m. Central, or it's 7 p.m. Mountain, or it's 6 p.m. Pacific. It took me 10 years to nail down all those time zones, by the way. But every Monday night, there is a 15-minute, and they do really good at sticking so close to that 15 minutes, you guys. Like, I'm really impressed with all they pack into that 15 minutes. I mean, sometimes it goes to like 17 minutes or whatever, but it's a really quick call, all about the opportunity. And they have real life, like Plexus ambassadors who have been where you are and who are now at the top of the company sharing their stories. It's very personable. I love it so much. They're amazing for inviting people to who are interested in the business, who are already on your teams, who might want to earn some extra money. So those are every Monday. And then Thursdays are the product calls. So it's similar, 15 minutes. They have people sharing their stories all about the products. They do giveaways on each call as well. So on Mondays, they do giveaways. On Thursdays, they do giveaways. So I love that. Um, this is the most perfect thing to just add into your system of just inviting people to. You need to follow up with someone about the business, invite them to Monday's call. You need to follow up with someone about the products, invite them to Thursday's call. You have someone reach out to you and they're like, hey, tell me about this pink drink you share. Invite them to Thursday's product call. And so that's this whole year, every Monday and Thursday. So just reminding you that there is a file that I'm going to put in our team chat from Brooke Hemingway that is like amazing. I've shared it with some of you. Maybe you've all already seen this, but just in case, I'm gonna put it in the team chat. But she just really like breaks down the system and exactly how to utilize it and use these calls for your team and what to say. Like, she has a whole files on verbiage, on message examples that are so good. And it's just super helpful. And so I'll put that in the team chat. For those of y'all that want to see it, I just have it saved in the notes of my phone. And then it is super helpful when you're like, oh, I want to go invite some people to Thursday's call, to have some message examples of what to say, to like go look at and be like, okay, how do I want to word this? And then you can kind of make it your own. But sometimes it's hard to think something up from scratch. It's really helpful to have that. And so she has a whole files of that. And I just save it in the notes of my phone. So yeah, that's basically it. If you just hopped on, share in the comments how close you are to your fast start bonus. We have some people like really close. And I'm so excited for you all. A few tips with, so before we get into like the take the drama out of IPA, I wanted to share a few tips on how I'm signing up people. And like how to like, I guess a few tips on like being able to sign up more people, and then what I'm doing when I go to sign them up. Oh, Joanna just signed up for second person. Yay, good job. So I've signed up 3 people this month, and I was really excited about that because it's been a while since I've signed up 3 people by this point in the month. And I one of the things that I attributed to that was being vulnerable with my posting. I posted a post. Hang on, my baby's up. I'm gonna have Colt get him 1 sec. Hey, Colt, baby's up. Can you grab him? I pay my kids to help me when I'm doing work things, and so he's getting paid to watch the baby. Okay, so one of the things that I did was, I posted a vulnerable post about fitting into a size 12 jeans, which was vulnerable for me because, and I've shared on my social media, you might have seen like different things I've shared about like being the heaviest I've been and like hormone issues post-COVID and having COVID 3 times and like different things. And so for me, that was a vulnerable post because normally like pre-COVID and all that, a size 12 would have been like a really big size for me. But right now I'm like really excited about hitting a size 12. And so I almost didn't want to post that, but I posted it anyway. And I signed up 2 people within 24 hours. And so it was really like, and like they literally messaged me right after my post. And so I'm attributing it to that post. But I was like, oh my goodness. Okay. So people like weight loss is a big thing for people though too, but like people need to see that kind of stuff. And so just encourage you, if you're like me and it's hard for you to be more vulnerable, like be vulnerable and share things that you're like, oh, I don't really want to share that. Go share it, because it makes people feel like, oh, me too. Like that's what you want them to feel when they see your post, like, oh yeah, I don't lose weight either when I'm breastfeeding. Like, okay, I want to try that. um and so being vulnerable, but also like I post about plexus every single day in some way, shape, or form, unless it's like my day off. I usually take one day a week where I don't really post anything. Um, and it varies. It could be a Sunday, it could be I don't know. It depends. I don't have like a set day that I do that, but because my husband works on Sundays, and so Sundays is not usually my day off for working. So it can be like a Tuesday or Thursday when he's off. But I do post every day somehow, some way about plexus, and it's usually in my stories. At least that's where if I've already posted on my feed like a plexus post, then I'll fit it into my stories. And it's either me mixing up my pink drink or some testimonial, inviting to the call on Monday or Thursday, talking about why I love my pink drink for postpartum, whatever, somehow, some way, or talking about my paycheck. Like I'm sharing about either the business or the products. And so just a few tips for like how I feel that has helped me to sign up more people. Along with, of course, messaging. Like one of the ladies who messaged me right after my post, I had already followed up with her like a week ago, but she didn't respond. And then I posted, and then she was like, okay, can you break it down for me of like what the cost would be? And so obviously like following up is so key, even when they don't respond. I've signed up more people than I can count from like staying or consistently following up with them, even when I didn't get a response. And when it feels like, why am I even doing this? Because they're not responding. But keep going. If they were ever interested, they stay on your follow-up list forever until they say no or they sign up. But then once I get someone to sign up or like they're ready, like they want to get started, how I'm doing it, I know there's like a different way. Some people hate the cart link. Some people love the cart link. Some people get people on the phone every single time. Like, I don't know. There's all kinds of different things. So I'm just sharing what I'm doing that it's working for me. One of my friends, she wanted to sign up and she mentioned to me that, oh, hey, like she said something like offhandedly of like, oh, I might even want to know more about the business or something like that, or earning money. So like she said that. So I already knew like, okay, so she's interested in this. And so she was ready to order. And then I didn't send the cart. I made a cart link for her. And I told her, I was like, I'll send you a cart link. What's your number? And I'll help you get ordered. And so she gave me her number. And then she said, like, I can't talk until this time. And so then I called her at that time. And then I sent her the cart link on the phone and helped walk her through it. I like the cart link. And the reason why is because I like them to be in complete control of their account. I've done it all the ways of like getting their info, signing them up, managing their account. And it gets really exhausting when you're managing all kinds of people's accounts. And then if like maybe you were supposed to change something and you forgot, and then they could get upset because their subscription went out or whatever. Like I've been there and I don't enjoy it. I'm not saying I don't ever do that anymore. Like if they really aren't tech savvy or something, and like last resort, if it's easier for them, I will sign them up with their info. I just do whatever it takes to get them to sign up, honestly. But my preferred method is for them to do it themselves, because it's not hard to do, especially if you're on the phone walking them through it. It only takes a few minutes. But then they see it all, like, and most people are visual. And so if they see like their account, they see how like it looks, they see that it tells them their subscription is set to go out. They see all that. And so they know what their password is. It's just like they're in complete control of it. If they need help editing their subscription while you're on the phone, because I have like the girl I did sign up, she wanted to start with the pack and then she wants to change her subscription to something else for the following month. And so we talked about that. But then, okay, so I helped walk her through it. on the phone, signed her up, and then I helped her create a cart link of exactly what she ordered and told her to put that in the notes of her phone, because she had already talked to me about possibly wanting to share. And she was like, yeah, my neighbor like does whatever I do. Like she bought the same trailer I bought. And I'm like, she'll want to do this too. And I was like, okay, that's commitment, buy the same trailer. But anyway, she was saying things like that. And so I helped her create a cart link, put it in the notes of her phone. And so that way it's easy for her to give that to someone if they're like, okay, I want to do what you're doing. And I'm still helping her do the same things we do as far as like make her first post, get her people into three-way chats. I still do that, but I have found that I help someone go silver in like 7 hours by signing them up on the phone and then helping them create a cart link on the phone of exactly what they ordered, and then helping them message their people. And this was someone who was like wanted to do the business, so there was no like question. Um, but I helped her send out messages while we were still on the phone and I was signing her up. Helped her send messages to like her closest people, like her best friend, her mom, and someone else. Anyway, so she went silver that day. Oh, I helped her make her post on the phone. And so it was like an hour phone call of like, and this is someone else. I'm talking about two different people here, but I helped her. It was like an hour phone call, but we got so much done in that hour. And instead of like the back and forth for days, it was like we were done and she went silver, boom. Um, and so I feel like, and then with this newer friend who I helped sign up after I posted my post, I learned so much about her on the phone, like, because she likes to talk. And so, like, she was like sharing all these different things. I had no idea. Like, I didn't know that she had fatty liver. Like, she even say that when we were talking about her health goals and like why she's doing this. I was like, okay, like, I learned a lot. And so it's going to help me be better able to help her and with my customer care with her because I know more about her. And I feel like we're just like friends now, even though we've never met because we talked on the phone. And so I really enjoy, I shouldn't say enjoy. I enjoy it after it's done. It's really hard for me to get people on the phone. I hate talking on the phone. But once I do it, I'm really glad I did. And it always goes good. Like it always does. Like almost, I would say, I can't remember the last time it hasn't gone good, honestly. Um, and like, you just be yourself and like, you just chat with them like you're out for coffee or something. And sometimes it takes like 15 minutes and you're done and you're off the phone if they're not a talker. And sometimes it takes like 45 minutes if they're a talker or whatever. So it really just depends. But anyway, that's just my way of liking it because I did a training recently and she was talking about how never send a cart link. And this is exactly how she does it. And she gets on and walks them through it. It was a really good training. She had lots of great things to say, but I was like, I like the cart link. I think it's great, super helpful. And I don't know, I just think it makes it easier. And so that's just my take on that. Take it or leave it. If you don't like the cart link, that's okay. Like you don't have to have like your business exactly like someone else's to be successful, which is the cool thing about this. And also I kind of feel it out too. Like the other girl I signed, after I made the post, she was someone who'd done it before. And I kind of knew like, she's more like standoffish, like so has her own way of doing things. I knew she wasn't going to share because I had already asked her in the chat. And I've had previous experience too, but like I had asked her to, well, actually, let me back up. I do always ask every person to get their +1. Like, who are you going to do this with? It's so important for that accountability. And in that same file that I'm going to send in the team chat, Brooke Hemingway, she has great verbiage examples of what to say for that, of asking them about getting their +1. But I did ask this second friend who I signed up this month, who her person was going to be. And she was basically like, thanks, but no thanks. Like, she's not going to, she has anyway. And so I just sent her the cart link. It might have been late at night too. And she just signed up. Like I didn't get her on the phone. And then so it kind of varies. Like I don't always 100% get people on the phone, but I 100% do if they've talked about doing the business or if I really want them to be a business builder. But if it's like super late at night and they're ready to sign up, I'm not going to wait. Like I want them to sign up ASAP, whether I can get them on the phone or not, and then get them on the phone when their products come in or get them on a phone, like a different day. but I don't wait to like sign people up if they're ready. And if it's like midnight and I'm in bed and I know they're in bed and we're like chatting because that's what happens a lot of times, no one wants to be on the phone. And so I kind of feel it out. And that's my thing. But I will say with people who have sparked interest or expressed interest in sharing, it has worked really well for me to get them on the phone, sign them up, help them make their first post, help them make the cart link to put in the notes of their phone, and help them message their closest people about it. And so those are my tips for that. Okay, so let's take the drama out of IPA. I just called it that because I feel like I know I do. Like I feel like there can be a lot of drama around IPA. IPA is income producing activity. It's the actions we need to take to grow our business. You all know that. But the thing with IPA is like you just need to do it. Like it is the single most important thing you will do to grow your business. It's like the gas in your car. Like if you have a big trip planned and you're going to go all these places and this road trip and all these adventures, you're not going to get there without gas in your car. And I feel like that's what IPA is. It's the gas for your car. Like you're not going anywhere without it. And so that is why it is it's the single most important thing to be consistent with to grow your business. Now, I have a sheet. I'm going to put it in the team chat as well. It's like, I'll just stick it in there so you can have a visual. I was going to have a, let me stick it one sec. I was going to have a slideshow, and then this day did not go at all like I planned it to with teething baby. And my son got dental work done and he's been in pain and he's 5. So he doesn't do so well with pain. And it's just been a really long day. But anyway, forget the slideshow. But I did create the graphic. It's in the chat. So you can kind of see a visual of that. Literally, that is all it takes to get your IPA done for the day. Now, I'm not saying like you work your business 60 minutes every single day and you're going to go and be a jewel. It's going to take more than that. It's going to take more than 60 minutes a day to become a jewel. The point of it is like, since IPA is the gas to your business, since it is the foundation, that is like the non-negotiable. That is what you want to do before you do anything else. And you can do it in 60 minutes. And I think a lot of times we can talk ourselves out of it, or like, oh, we don't like to send new reach outs. We don't want to be salesy or whatever it is. And so we can tend to distract ourselves with other things that that are good. Excuse me. Anyway, that are good, like posting is one of the ones on the sheet, but random things like in the team chat, scrolling, scrolling's not really so good unless you're actually being intentional with your social media. Watching a training, which is also a good thing, but like it's really, really crucial to get the IPA in, no matter what. And I would recommend 6 days a week personally. So when I was, and I know a lot of you have heard this, I have a whole video on it on my YouTube channel about my journey of going from gold to senior gold in 90 days. And it was because of IPA. And so, but I had been doing Plexus for like 2.5 years at that point before doing this 90-day IPA thing. And so it all kind of like compounded and helped us go senior gold. I'm not saying if you do 90 days IPA, you'll go from like 0 to senior gold. You can, it's been done a lot of times, but that is when I saw my business almost double and go from being stuck to a really thriving, fun, exciting business that went a lot more quicker than it had previously. Was when I committed to doing IPA 6 days a week, consistently, no excuses, and having a way to keep track. It wasn't like, I think that is one of the most important things too, is like having an IPA notebook, having an IPA binder or something where you are keeping track of every single person you talk to and the actions that you're doing, because it's just that is really important to help people not fall through the cracks. And also the accountability aspect of like, did you actually do your IPA? And you can like look back and like, yeah, I sent 10 messages this day and I did this and this and that. And so it's more of like you have a plan for growing your business to where you want to go instead of hoping and wishing and all of that. And so where am I at? So anyway, I would recommend for doing it 6 days a week if you are if you want to, get your products paid for and that is your main goal, which is exactly what my goal was when I started. And so I love that goal. You don't have to be as like focused and hardcore, but 6 days a week is what I did. And I think that it really helped a lot because yeah, I don't think you need 2 days off necessarily as you're growing. And then as you do get to where you are going and you can be more flexible, then that is the perk of growing your income. But I did do it 6 days a week and like did not miss for 90 days. And and then after that, it's like you're in this like habit and rhythm. And I cannot remember going more than one day without on my way to Diamond, I cannot remember going more than one day without doing an IPA action. I might not have always done like the whole sheet, done all the things, but I at least did something that was IPA, whether it was sending a message, a reach out, follow up, making a post. That is one of the things I feel like am really good at is the consistency piece of just being consistent. And I put that quote at the top of that sheet that I created because it's one of my favorites of like small, inconsistent, small, what does it say? Now I can't even remember. Small, seemingly insignificant actions done daily over time add up to massive results. And it is really true. And it can be boring. It can be also hard. And like, it's not always fun to send new reach outs. Like, that's probably my least favorite part is sending new messages, honestly. But here's the thing, you cannot send, I know I say this all the time, but you cannot send the wrong message to the right person. And that's why you'll see like people will be like, this message is so great. And then you'll use it and you won't get a response. But the other person just signed someone up because they used that message. And so like that just shows you, or vice versa, like that shows you can't send the wrong or right message, wrong message to the right person. And some are going to respond and some aren't. And like that's not our job. Like we can't control people. We can control our actions and what we do. And like the more you do it, the better you're going to get. The better you get, the more people you're going to help. And the more people you help, the more fun it gets. And like your team starts to get into momentum and you're helping more people. I remember when like normally I would add between 1 to 3 people a month on my team. And I saw a friend that they added 10 people in a month. And I was just like, oh my goodness, like, what are you doing? Like, how did you add 10 people to your team? And then, like, I mean, we've added our top on our team, our record is 389 people in 1 month that we've added. Which is crazy. But like I could have never dreamed back then that that would happen. But I promise you, it started with the IPA. It ends like it's all around the IPA. And it's so simple, right? You see that sheet, it's like literally 20 minutes of sending messages, 20 minutes of posting. And when I say posting, it's like making a like a post for your feed, whether Instagram or Facebook, whichever one, like if you choose to grow on Instagram or choose to grow on Facebook, and then posting in your stories. And then the third 20-minute segment is like the adding value part of like building relationships, growing your network, you're commenting and adding value to people on their posts through their stories, wishing people happy birthday, going into your Facebook group that you like to work in and make friends in and engaging in that. And so then you can send friend requests. And if you need a video on like how to grow your network, that's also on my YouTube. But it's so simple, and it's amazing how much you can get done. I was doing this the other day, and I think I'm trying to remember. I want to say it was 12 messages in the 20-minute time frame because I like to batch things. Like if I'm going to go send follow-ups, typically it will be about the same thing. So maybe I'm sending follow-ups all about the opportunity event or the Thursday event, or I'm sending follow-ups about the sale. And so I'm going to use a similar message for a lot of the people, whatever it is about. And so you can send out a lot of messages in 20 minutes. Um, or maybe one day you're going to send all new reach outs. It helps my brain if I'm like focused on kind of like one outlet, to where it's like today it's just all reach outs, and then tomorrow like it's all follow ups. So you do what works for you. You definitely want to be reaching out and following up in the week. So however you want to do that. And yeah, don't, yes, what Lexi said. But also, what was I gonna say? I don't even remember. Oh, do not respond to messages during this time. And so, like, don't get just, because that will distract you and then that will cut into your 60 minutes. So send messages for 20 minutes. And even if someone responds and says, yeah, tell me more, or what is it? Or like, just wait. And then when you're done, then go respond. And so that is where it's gonna, like, you're gonna see more results that way. Yeah, same, Kayla. Like, it's so hard for me to just focus, but just get it all done before you do all that. And so what that could kind of look like is maybe in the morning you do your 60 minutes, or you have to break that up and do like 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. But like, you do the sheet, like you get all of it done, and then you go do errands, you maybe clean your house, and then you sit back down to get some more work done. Then that's when you respond to all the messages. Maybe you get in the team chat to see what's going on with the team, and things like that. But if you're going to do one single thing in your business, do the 60-minute thing, and then all the other things can fall into place throughout the day. I put on the sheet too of like watching a training is a non-negotiable, because you can do that while you're driving, dishes, laundry. So I don't count it in the 60 minutes. And I do think it's crucial, because that's something I did, was I did not miss a day of listening to a training or a Diamond Doc, one of those two things. Podcasts, which is also yeah, and getting a pedicure. Yes, that sounds amazing. But doing that is going to, what it did for me is it kept me going and it built belief in me that if other people could do it, I could do it. And it kept me inspired, because I would watch a training, maybe that Fallon Reeve did, 'cause she's one of my favorite trainers. And hearing the stories she would share would encourage me, just keep going, keep being consistent. Or maybe I'd hear a health story of someone else and like, okay, our products really do work. Like, I'm really helping people. And so like every day of listening to a training just kept me encouraged, inspired, built my belief in the company, in the products, in myself. And so that is why I do feel like the training is a non-negotiable. And team calls, like I was on every single team call. I remember Jen Leith told me one time, because I was always on her team call, and she was like, I always saw Joanna Miller hopping on. And I just, for like 2 years really, before anything started to happen. And she's like, I just prayed so hard that like something would happen in your business. And like, it took a while, but like I didn't miss those hers were on Monday nights, and I did not miss them, because I always was encouraged, inspired, or learned something that just helped me go another day. It's like every day I'd watch a training, it's like, help me go the next day. It was like day by day. And so that's why I feel like that is so important. And that's really all I have for you all tonight, is like, just take the drama out of like the IPA, of and like your mindset really is so important. Of like, if you're like, if you're telling yourself I'm overwhelmed, or this overwhelms me, or like I can't do that, the team page overwhelms me, the team chat overwhelms me, you're going to be overwhelmed. So like, mindset or being overwhelmed is a choice. You can choose like, okay, like I have enough time to do what matters most, and I have enough time to move my business forward. I have enough time to do my IPA. Like, those are the thoughts you want to tell yourself. And if something overwhelms you and you know that, like, figure out maybe something that helps you with that. So like team chats, for example, like if that overwhelms you, if like dinging, like you definitely don't want the dinging. That drives me crazy. And so I put like, it's like you can change in your messenger chat with like, I forget what it's called, but you can change the notifications so where you're not getting any notifications. And that's what I do, because I got sick of notifications. And so when I'm ready to go in my team chat, then I'll just go in it. And then you're not getting notifications all day long. And so if that's something that's stressing you out, there's things you can change and tweak to where it's going to help you with that. And so don't just stay stuck in like I'm overwhelmed mindset. So I'm just going to like ignore it and like not do anything. Change your thoughts of like, and figure like everything's figureoutable. How can I not be overwhelmed? And like, that's going to really, really help. So anyway, thank you all for hopping on. That's all I have for you. Does anyone have any questions at all before we hop off and go to the opportunity call? Feel free to unmute and ask. And I did not see if any were in the chat. So there was. Any questions at all or anything you wanted to add in? Oh, tips for post. Oh, yeah, I'm glad you said that, Justice. Okay, tips for posting. So one of the things I wanted to mention was the team page is like invaluable resource. Like it has posting ideas, message ideas, like mindset, pretty much anything you can think of. And when you go in there and type in the search bar, it will pop up. And so I do that to this day. I utilize this. Like I'm going to go send messages. I'm feeling like a block, like I don't know what I'm going to say. So I'll go to the team page and type in, or I have some saved in the notes of my phone too that I really like. But I'll type in if I need some inspiration, like type in like message ideas, reach outs, follow-ups. Like there's a lot of different examples in there. But there's a few post in there too that are full of post ideas. So if you type in post ideas, like it'll pop up. Also, Katie's training was so good last week on the Chat GPT. I've already used it multiple times for post idea. And my post looked nothing like what they gave me that I posted the other day, but it like I went in, I was like, I want to post. I have no idea what to post. I want to post with my pink drink. And so I just typed a few things into Chat GPT and she recorded it. So you can go watch the recording if you're not sure what I'm talking about. But then it like gave me just like, it was like one word that I got from that was like, oh, okay, I like this route. And so I typed up a quick post and it was because it just kind of like helped jog my, I don't know, get the juices flowing. So I really like that. But the team page really is so good. Also, you can search in the team chat as well. If you did not know this, you can go to the settings of the like Diamond Bound team chat and messenger. And there's a search bar. And so if maybe you saw a really good message a couple weeks ago, you saw it's in the chat somewhere and you're like, where was that? You can go in the search bar and just type in a keyword that you know is in there, like plexus or pink drink or something. And then anything with that will pop up and you can like find things quicker that way. It shows where there's links that were shared. So if there was a video that was shared, you're like, oh, I want to go watch that, but I forget now where it is. Go to the links section of the chat and it will show all the links that have been shared. And so you can find things a little more easier that way. So yeah, any other questions? Just hope this was encouraging to know, like, you don't have to spend all day on your phone. You don't have to do IPA for 8 hours a day. Like, I've never done IPA. Well, okay, maybe the last day of the month when I'm going for rank up. That might be the only time I've done it all day. Other than that, I've never done IPA all day. No one has time for that. So go do your 60 minutes. Oh, quick reminder, there are power hours on the tomorrow. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the last 3 days of the month, right? Or wait, that's not the last 3 days of the month. Whatever the last 3 days of the month are, they're posted in the team page. Ashley, Katie, and I are all hosting one each day. The times are posted in there too. And we'll just be working together to end the month out strong. And so that's what I'm going to be doing with my power hours. We're literally going to do that 60 minutes and set your timer. I think that's really important too. And I even like set my timer and like done like a lot of things and looked and I was like, oh, I've only been doing this for 6 minutes. It's like, I got 14 minutes left to go. And so you'll be surprised at how much you can get done if you are focused. And it's not going to be perfect. Like I get distracted all the time and I have to tell myself, okay, like focus on like, no, we're doing this for 20 minutes. But the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. And so don't be discouraged if you're like, oh, I just can't focus for, and I keep getting distracted. Just keep doing it and you'll get better and better at it. So, okay. Have a great night, you all. Thanks for hopping on. I'll see you on the opportunity call in 24 minutes.